Hey, what's going on? Max Cruz, nice to see you here again. So today we are gonna be discussing value ladder. So a book that I would like for you to look into is called .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. I'm pulling it up here now so you can see the cover page. This is what it looks like. .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. He talks a lot in there about the value ladder and just what you can think of. And then also another thing that I want to, show you how this works is this image right here by Zig Ziglar. And he says, he climbs highest who helps another up. So again, this is the concept of the value ladder. It's about helping somebody else up. Okay, and a little backstory about myself. So, I've achieved some success. I'm not at the point where I want to be, and I'm always looking to be, as absolutely successful as I can. And I know you're looking at this and you have possibilities of success that you can't even imagine. And whatever situation you're going through right now is just temporary. So trust me, just keep on looking for that thing and keep on improving yourself to get to that next level. So that being said, I achieved some levels of success, but what I noticed was that, it was selfish, right? Like, have you ever worked for something or for somebody and all you're doing is kind of like, saving money or earning money, but you're really not getting any sort of fulfillment because you're not helping really anyone, or you're helping them, but then at the same time there's like what should I call it? There's like a moment of little gratification. So it's like, yes, you made that closing or you made that deal, you made a little bit of money, but then it's like the relationship wasn't really strong and you got some monetary compensation of it, but overall it's like the human interaction part of it was little. Or overall you feel like you helped a lot, but at the end of the day that relationship wasn't as strong. So that's where I was, and on this journey I found out that actually I was missing several steps. And the more information I collected, the next thing that happened was that I went into information overload, right? And maybe you're there right now. You've seen a bunch of stuff. You've dabbled here and there on a few things, but you really haven't gone one thing deep. And I think the reason that happens is because every time we try to take action, we're like, well, if we knew just a little bit more, and then we go back to the information mode, start studying that, and we're kind of in this, circle where we're looking and looking. Well, what this thing right here, the value ladder, what this is really gonna help you is, number one, focus on helping others, and then what it's going to allow you to do is create a vision for yourself on what direction you're moving towards, and then are those items that you're learning or are those tools or skills that you're applying in line for what you're doing. So let's get right into it. As I said, you always want to ask yourself, just like I showed you with Zig Ziglar, about helping someone else come up, is always ask, what is the benefit to others? And Grant Cardone, one of the things that he taught me was how kind of money circles around. So check this out. Let's say you're here, right? And then you go down the street, you buy a pizza from a restaurant and you give them $10. Then that restaurant owner, goes and out to a mechanic and gets his car fixed and whatever, gives him those $10. And then that mechanic goes to, a dentist or whatever, and then that dentist gets that $10, and then that dentist comes to you for whatever it is that you're offering. So what I want you to realize here is that kind of money moves around, and ultimately the more you give, the more you receive. Now, I'm not talking about giving money away. You can give away information, you can give away your time, you can volunteer your time, you could spend an afternoon with somebody teaching them something. There's multiple things where it's not really money related, but it's more showing people something that you already know. So again, this information kind of circles around. So again, if you have an information, you share it with somebody else, that individual shares it with somebody else, that individual shares it with somebody else, and then whatever the third individual learned, because you're in that network, they come back to you and they share something else that you didn't know. So you're kind of always learning from somebody, and it becomes just an awesome, process to be with people and have that in your network. Because, I know a dentist and I would refer people to that dentist because I know him. If somebody came up to me and asked me like, oh, I'm having this problem in XYZ, my pleasure is going to be, my reward is going to be connecting that individual with this other individual and knowing that this person can solve that person's problem, so they're going to connect and they're mutually going to benefit because they solved the problem and I was indirectly involved with that. So the knowing that you help these individuals out, the reward is more, because at the end of the day, that's again going to come back to you, because then they refer people back to me because they specialize in something and I specialize in something else. Okay, so this leads to the next point of what Russell talks about in his book, is the who. Now I've added these two things. I wouldn't say I added them, but I guess he goes in a little bit about in the book about it, but I guess I understand it differently, so maybe I'll explain it differently. So we have the who, the why, and the when. And then after this, I'm gonna get into the value ladder so you can see how this applies. So what you need to understand is, again, if you are looking to provide benefit to others, you have to ask yourself, let's say you, I don't know, have a digital product, because I'm going to talk about things that I can talk about because what I'm doing. Or let's say, you have some physical product you're selling, or a service, or whatever it is that you're selling. Ask yourself, what is the benefit to the other person? So then that's going to allow you to say, okay, well, who can benefit from it? And I don't know if Russell says it in his book or I've heard it from somewhere else, but you don't want to sell steak to vegetarians, right? If you go to a vegetarian restaurant, you're a steak salesman or you're selling meat, they're not gonna buy from you. So you need to know who it is that you're serving and what it is that they need, okay? The next thing you need to understand is why. Like, why does somebody need this, okay? And then the last part that ties into it is when. And when, it's really in the other person's life. It's not in your life. Like, your when experiences are gonna relate to how you connect or what you say to that person. Like, I can say when, when did my wife and I get married? 2011, I was 26 years old. When I was 26 years old, my wife and I decided to get married, and what we did was we purchased a multifamily property. Why? Because we understood the possibilities of cash flow and how that can give you freedom, and who at that time we were individuals that were thinking about investments. So you see how all these things relate, because I can go backwards and I say, look, I was an individual that was ready to make investments because I understood the why, because it equaled financial freedom. So when I was 26, I bought my first multifamily cash flowing property. So again, all of this relates. And going to digital marketing, like who? Let's say you're starting up digital marketing, you have no experience, okay? Why? You're looking to get into a digital marketing space because you understand the power of social media or the power of digital media, digital marketing. You see a lot of people that are successful in this business and you're looking for the product. And when? It's happening right now in your life, because again, you're looking for that time freedom, you want to spend more time with your family, you're looking for another source of income. It's just that point in your life that's happening. So let's get into what you can use the value ladder for and how you do it. Now, I'll explain the value ladder first, and then I'll actually show you the 3 examples of how I use it in my business, and then this will be an example of how you can apply it and draw it out in your business. So the first thing you need to understand is everyone is in business, okay? If you are working for somebody else, if you have a job, if you work at a restaurant, if you work somewhere else, whatever, you are in business. Your customer is that that job, whether it's an office, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a restaurant, that's your one customer. You provide a service, so you go there for whatever, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, you do something, and that customer in satisfaction pays you, right? So let's say you have your own business. So you actually have two customers. You have the customers that buy your business service, and then you have your suppliers, or the people that work with you, your employees or whatever. So you have these two customers, but at the end, it's the customer that's paying you. That's the customer that you need to provide some services for, and it ties into the customer that's servicing your business, your employees, because if your employees aren't following what you're doing and have the same mission and the same path, then the people aren't going to pay you. So that's how those two relate, right? So that being said, let's get into value and time. Everybody is in business, right? So everybody has this time progression. The more you interact with an individual, the more time you spend with an individual, the more they're gonna trust you. So think about it. Let's say you're starting off a relationship with somebody. It's a client, it's a new job, whatever it is, right? You're at the bottom of this value ladder, and maybe that's equivalent to how much you're earning, because you haven't shown enough for them to give you that raise, or for that client to pay you more, or whatever it is. So then you build these stepping stones, right? Where I call the bridge between these two gaps is actually information and action. And what ends up happening, for example, if you have a job, is you get trained, you get good at training, you take the action that's gonna get the company results, and then they pay you. You take more training, you get the more results for the company, they pay you more. You take more training, you see, and this repeats until, you know, wherever the cap is, if there is a cap for the company that you paid. Same thing if you're in business. Your customer starts off, right? You provide a service to them, you know, you give them some information, and that service was that action that you took to do it. Then the customer comes back to you because they were happy with how they did business with you. They said, okay, now I'm looking for this. Can you help me with that? And again, that help you might not profit from, in the sense of, let's say you are a digital marketing agency and they're looking for a mechanic. You know, do you really profit by referring them to a mechanic? Probably not, right? But what you're doing is you're providing value to them, so they know that you're a trusted source that wants to help them. So then, let's say you are a digital marketing agency, you started off here, you send them to a mechanic, then when they want to upgrade to your next package or whatever the scenario is, they come back to you because you already have this basis of providing value. And as the time goes, they're spending more and more money with you, and you're providing more and more value. The basis of this is, again, remember, what benefit is there to others? Every step in this ladder, there has to be the benefit you provided here plus this benefit. Then this has to be the combination of these two benefits or more, right? This product right here, or this service, cannot be inferior to what you're doing here. Hence, why would somebody pay you thousands of dollars up here that, you know, the product that's $10 or $1, doesn't matter what the price is, or free, is worth more than this product? You know, you see where I'm going with this? You want to provide value and benefit to others the higher up you go. And maybe you have a customer for life that's here, you know? All you're doing is giving them that $1 a year service. I don't know, GoDaddy, for example. If you wanted to buy a domain website, or One and One, and you wanted to buy a domain website, it's $1 for the first year. And maybe all they have is customers that keep on buying websites for that 1 year, and then they cancel, or whatever the case is, and they have those customers. Then maybe they provide other packages, and those customers move up. So you're always going to have different people in your value ladder depending on what they want to do and what benefits they want to have. And this is where time is important, because if you're communicating with them, you're telling them, well, I've seen how you're doing this. I'm gonna, provide you with this info, or have you considered the possibilities of doing this? And then when they take those actions and get those results, then they're ready to move to the next level with your company, with you, with your service, move you next to that managerial position, whatever it is that you're looking for in life. So let's get into this. The story behind this is very simple. What I realized is that, if you've read Robert Kiyosaki Cash Flow Quadrant, it was great for us to be real estate investors and get that cash flow. But before I was a real estate investor, I had a job, right? I worked for somebody. I went to work 40 to 60 hours a week plus overtime. I saved money, and once I have enough money saved up, I did my research throughout that period, and then I started investing. So today is very similar scenario. I have a job, a business, that my job is to keep my business operating. That is my job, right? So my job is to grow my business. So that business pays us money, and then because we understand or have some experience in the real estate game, we're always educating ourselves to the next level, but we are taking those incomes from there. Obviously we live on some of them, and then the other income is being invested into more real estate to produce more cash flow, right? So that is my experience. So the question came up to me was, how do I provide value to others? Sure, I can go in and work with an investor and make a good chunk of money with a real estate commission, or partner up on a deal and have cash flow, but that helps how many people, right? And maybe helps that individual, it helps me, it helps their family, the people around them. But what is there to help somebody that is just starting off, like no experience, no nothing? What value can I bring? And this is where my value ladder mentality changed. And check this out. So the way that I did this was I'm utilizing digital marketing to get income. Okay, it's money that's coming in, right? Some days it's $100, other days it's $25, other days it's $1,000. Whatever it is, the amount doesn't matter, right? It's money that's coming in addition to everything else that's going on. Okay, so if I'm in a position where I can teach others how to generate an extra $25 or $100 a day in addition to what they're doing, then they can take that extra income and start to put it aside for investments, right? So this is where the digital marketing came in, because again, we're in this digital marketing world, and there's so many products out there that have a low entry point, and this is where the dollar sign is. So think of it as a customer and a partner level. I can provide digital marketing services at a very low entry point. You know, real estate is going to take them thousands and thousands of dollars to start, unless you're doing wholesaling or something else. That's a whole other topic. And you know, as a customer, it's going to take fairly low to start. There's products out there that are $50 one time, $25. There's just so many different entry points, right? And then same thing with a partner. If they wanted to partner with us in this digital marketing business, it's a very low entry point where, you know, there's various things that I can show you in different entry points, right? Okay, so next is this thing that's credit. Now, the two things that's happening is this digital marketing world, I can go globally, right? I can reach people on a global scale. Because if you're doing email marketing in Italy or India or Australia or wherever it is that you're doing, and I can show you how to do that, but then those earnings you want to invest in US real estate, that's how it kind of comes back to me, right? So this allows me to grow my brand and help others on a global scale, okay? So next is credit. Now this is for US only. So let's say, again, because I connected with you, because I have that experience, because you saw my story, because you understand how that transformed your life, and you've seen so many other examples and you want to take that, next is like, okay, well, what else can I incorporate into my value ladder where, you know, we take this person over time and build them up, right? So then credit came in, right? Everything runs on credit here in the United States. You need credit for everything, whether it's buying a home, buying a car, even getting a job nowadays. You know, there are people that, believe it or not, when you go to apply for a job at a bank, unless your credit score is at a certain number, you won't qualify, because why would a bank employ people with bad credit, right? It's probably not a good image for them. I mean, there's certain positions, don't get me wrong. A financial planner with a horrible credit or whatever might not be the best person to take advice from, because maybe they're not managing their finances correctly. Obviously, with credit, there's so many scenarios. One of my passions and one of the reasons that I got into it was because I kept on seeing people that had medical billing history or collection items, and then it's like they were, you know, they couldn't pay for the insurance, didn't pay on time for those things, then it was sent into collection. There's this whole bureaucracy that's happening, and then their credit would be affected for something that they thought that they had the right insurance from, but because this time process, they have this negative mark now, and it had nothing to do with them, not being able to pay. It was just the system and how it worked. Okay, so I got into that because I understand that, to buy a car, to buy a home, to buy real estate investment, credit is going to be important. Then you could leverage credit to invest in real estate or other businesses, right? And then the final was real estate, okay? So you see, this is kind of my value ladder where for us to work together, I have a point where you could enter right here at a very low dollar amount, and we can build that interaction, because again, I'm going to show you, I'm going to help you build your income to then take you into the real estate thing. With a credit thing, maybe your income is okay, or maybe you don't want to do this digital marketing thing and you're interested in credit. Well, guess what? We have customer and partner opportunities here where, again, I can show you a system that will generate extra income and allow you to use that income towards real estate. And then finally, real estate, and this is where we have the customer. And as you see, I have a lot of dollar signs because, again, they're doing probably a larger investment, versus in a partnership scenario, and this is partners, the dollar signs is less. Why? Because now, let's say we have a group of 5 people that are all earning extra income and that want to partner together on one real estate deal. Well, guess what? Not all of us have to come up with this huge chunk of money. We could split that chunk of money in 5 ways and then share the profits 5 ways, right? It's a better way to do it. There's 5 people that are looking at the project, looking at analyzing the opportunity, and then you're working in this partnership, and that's how you're able to get into these bigger deals. Then all of a sudden you don't need to have $100,000 or $1 million on your own. You can have a little bit of money and you can go into these partnerships and do that. So you see how I built this thing for myself, my vision on, okay, I can help a real estate investor right now. Maybe they're already here. Maybe the information that I provide them is so valuable. I'm giving them a report. I'm providing them with all the cash flow analysis. I'm giving them all the area statistics. I'm giving them projections. I'm giving them other partners that they can partner up with. And then they go ahead and do the deal. And that's where it's like, okay, the payout that I get is substantial because they're already there. Or maybe you're here where it's like, you're looking for ways to make extra money so that you can get into real estate investing or whatever you're gonna do, whatever you're gonna invest in. But you see how I've taken somebody and I have different entry points where somebody can get in here and then build up as we go over time. So again, what I wanna impact you on, what I wanna emphasize is the benefit to others. Ask yourself as you're building this thing, okay, I did this for myself. What is the benefit of me showing someone digital marketing? There's multiple benefits. It's a very low entry point for the customer and for the partner. They're going to be able to solve their digital marketing problems if they're having any. They're going to be able to get into the digital marketing space. They're going to be able to generate extra income. They're going to be able to save money because they're maybe switching to a different product or whatever the scenario is. So that's that. Okay, then what's the next step? Okay, if you're in the United States and you want to invest in something, okay, you need credit, so maybe this is a person that's struggling with their credit, so we can go ahead and serve them as a customer in order to get them to that final point where they're going to be able to buy. Or if they're interested in becoming a partner and also earning extra income, I have that entry point as well. It's a little bit more expensive, but not that much more. And then the final one is real estate. Yes, I can go ahead and sell real estate to somebody and make a good chunk of commission money because I provided value to them, I provided benefits for them. And then at the end, or in addition to, if they didn't want to use all of their money, we can do partnerships. So you see how, again, this is kind of that funnel, what we call, maybe we have 1,000 people that we're helping here every single day. We're helping them generate extra income, solve their problems here, whatever. And then out of those 1,000, 100 become real estate investors to us. What I want you to realize is that those thousands of people that we helped,
we transformed their lives. They're better off, they got more benefits, and they provided others benefit that initially they weren't doing. So this is why we're here. This is why I'm doing this. This is why this is so important. This is why I'm passionate about this. And then it's all the stories, like for example, in the digital marketing space, somebody that I met, they didn't need the extra income. They were just frustrated with all the things that are going on. And they found this thing, TJ, he found this thing, he showed it to me, he's saying, this is how we're impacting people. This is how people can have an entry point into what's going on. Seeing how that transformed his personal way of branding himself, branding his business, seeing the results, sharing those results. I mean, in addition to TJ, there's Brendan, there's Guillermo, there's all these other people that are getting the same thing, and it's just amazing seeing their stories. With the credit stuff, I'm a huge fan. One of my mentors is Nicola Smith-Jackson. Seeing how she transformed her life from being an overworked, beauty salon attendant to now, helping thousands and thousands of people restore their credit and earn extra income. And now she went from this overworked mom at a beauty salon to being a multi-millionaire because she was able to help so many people. Same thing with Bruce, somebody that was working in a call center and just frustrated, looking for more time with his family and looking at his transformation. Last year, I'm so happy for him. He was able to buy his dream car, his Lamborghini, and that's all because he helped other people. Same thing with the real estate. How many real estate guys do you know that are philanthropists? You know how many real estate people I've seen when there's a natural disaster, they're able, because they have that time freedom, to give back to the community. Maybe they go out and physically do something. Maybe they have monetary sources where they say, okay, I'm gonna take this chunk of money and donate it to this cause or whatever, this recovery fund. There's so much philanthropy that happens at that higher level. So overall, it's all these stories of people doing good. And that is why I'm into this. This is why I realized I was selfish. I was doing the wrong thing, I wasn't providing value. I didn't have these entry points. I found them, and now I'm here to share them with you. So ultimately, again, provide value to others. What is the benefit that somebody else is gonna have? If you have something and you're not sharing for somebody else to benefit, look, just do it once, experience that feeling, see how you feel, and if you like it, just keep on doing it, and you will see that every time that you share, if you're looking for monetary reward, trust me, you're gonna get it. If you're looking for personal reward, trust me, you're gonna get it as well. But overall, you're just gonna make this world a better place. So thank you again for checking out this value ladder. Again, read the book .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. If you have any questions, if there's a way that I can help you, again, we are looking. I'm not giving you any links. I'm not selling you anything, nothing, okay? I want to be a resource for you. Just ask me, Max, I'm struggling with this. And maybe all I can do is point you in the direction, and you go with that direction, and that solves your problem, and you're happy for the rest of your life. That will make me happy, okay? I don't care if you buy anything from me. I don't care if we ever do business together. That doesn't matter. All I want for you to do is pay it forward. If I help you with something, go ahead and help somebody else with something, okay? Let's do this together. Let's embark on this journey to help as many people as we can in whatever ways we can. Maybe it's giving them an inspirational quote. Maybe it's giving them a book to read. Maybe it's giving them an opportunity. Maybe it's sharing a strategy with them that is working for you. Whatever it is, do it, help others. Trust me, you're gonna get, the results are gonna be amazing. The experiences, the network, the people you're gonna get to meet is gonna be phenomenal. So go out there, do great, have an awesome day, and I'll see you on here next time.